This is TWiT. We're talking about the FaceTime flaw that allowed people using group FaceTime to eavesdrop on other people, at least briefly, until they either didn't pick up or picked up the call. Did Tim Cook, I didn't listen to the analyst call and I didn't read the notes. Did he say anything about the FaceTime flaw in that call? They did apologize.
Yeah, they apologized and removed the feature until they're able to roll out a software update. But yeah, I mean, look, Apple rightly, I think, has a really great reputation for privacy. And
yeah, this doesn't ding that. This is a flaw.
No, it doesn't.
This is a bug.
This is a bug, but it's a bad bug.
They didn't get caught doing something wrong like Facebook did that was a purpose.
Right.
They made a mistake.
Wrong.
They tried to fix. Yeah, they tried to fix it as quickly as possible. You know, they might have given a little bit of a runaround. I get that. That sometimes happens. It's not great, and it's a really big deal. But this is really different from them choosing to sell your information and trying to be sneaky about it. Apple, again, wants to keep your business, so it makes every sense that they're going to try to make sure they're as secure as possible.
They did respond quickly. Well, they responded quickly to the 9 to 5 Mac story.
When they got caught, they were really fast about it.
Well, and I don't think it's fair to say caught either. I mean,
no. So, when the issue made it to their account, I mean, people tried, but you know,
there's a family of people. Michelle Thompson, who's a 14-year-old, discovered this a week before it was revealed on 9 to 5 Mac. A security researcher found it later. Tried to get through to Apple, but she's, you know, not a developer. She's not somebody Apple gets security reports from on a regular basis. So she says she never received a response from the company. She actually went to Fox News to tell them, look, there's a serious security privacy flaw in FaceTime. Apple did in its apology say, we thank the Thompson family for reporting the bug, and we're going to improve our process by which we receive and escalate these reports in order to get them to the right people as fast as possible. All she got was a note saying you should join if you want to report bugs, you need to join the developer program. Clearly,
it's kind of a tough thing too, like coming from the IT side of things, right? It's hard to tell when to take these things seriously and when not to. So that's understandable. It's just a shame that this was the one missed, support ticket that was one of the most egregious privacy flaws. Like, I know this was not purposeful, but you know, the people who signed up for Facebook's privacy and information sharing thing, they at least knew like Facebook was doing this and they were getting paid for it. It was like a contract. This is an insane bit of like spy tech, basically. Yeah. Like this is something that I know like spy agencies have been trying to cook up things like this so that they can listen on your conversations.
Well, but how useful would it be if you were the NSA or the CIA and you knew about this? This only happened when Apple released Group FaceTime, which was just a couple of versions of iOS 12 ago. It was like 12.1. So it hasn't been around that long. But let's say you're in the NSA. You're not saying, oh, rubbing your hands with glee, saying, oh, finally I can listen in on Putin's conversations, because it rings the phone, right? And it only works.
NSA is calling. And Putin's like, I'm not going to answer the phone.
Yeah. So it's not that useful. But you know, it's embarrassing. Apple did respond. Once the 9 to 5 Mac report came out, they responded immediately by turning off Group FaceTime. It's still off. And as you said, Christina, they say they'll have a patch this week, and Group FaceTime.
Yeah, no, totally. And I mean, in terms of bugs to have, I think you point out, like, it's not good at all. It could conceivably be embarrassing, but it could be way worse. Yeah. The phone is going to ring. So the longest you're talking about, maybe 20 seconds that you might be able to hear something. And I mean, it's not great. I think the video aspect was probably worse than maybe even the audio stuff. The fact that you could maybe see people, that's not great, but they fixed it. And I think that the good news here is that because they were able to fix things server side because of what this was, they could put a stop to it. You know, on the server side level, they just disabled the Group FaceTime feature, and now they're going to issue a patch. So this wasn't even, I mean, this could have been really bad if this was something where they would have had to release an update that everybody's phone would have to be updated, you know, to
anybody who's ever had an 8-minute voicemail message from a butt dial knows there's not that much going on. Have you ever sat and listened to all 8 minutes?
Oh yeah. I mean, because
you hear a lot
I usually get bored really quickly because someone's full. 8 minutes.
Oh no! Yeah. Oh, I've done it just because you're kind of curious, because sometimes, again, there's that one time. Most of the time you delete it, right? But you hear interesting conversations. You're like, wait a minute.
All right, we're gonna rob the bank at 8 tonight. Exactly. Everybody in on the job.
Yeah. About you, yeah.
Well, this is what I'm saying. That's what happens. This is like the worst case scenario where somebody's talking smack about you and unknowingly calling you. This is where voice assistants, I think, can be very dangerous, because you can imagine if you're talking about someone, you accidentally invoke the voice assistant that then calls that person and starts to leave a long message, talking poorly about that person. No, I mean, I've maybe listened once, like the 8-minute ones. Usually you just delete, but you might hear a few occasional things. You're like, oh, so that's what they think about so-and-so.
It does happen. There's a guy who lost his job and is suing his ex-boss. This happened last spring. He accidentally butt dialed his boss, or pocket dialed him, as the Post says. And he was talking to his wife about his boss, and the boss heard him say negative things, and he didn't like it, so he fired him. and now there's a lot there. Well, not now, but I guess now there's a lawsuit because he continued to listen and violated his privacy.
Oh, that's
Is it really violating your privacy? I don't know. I don't think that's going down, though, because there's no way. Like, you call someone else.
You sent me a message, dude, and I just listened to your message.
Listening to the message, it does not sound like a violation of privacy.
Yeah. Incompetence
and I don't even think you could say it's an unlawful dismissal, because you say something bad about someone, no one's going to want to work with you after that.